I said dynamite, and the last minute phone calls, Steve Cosby.
Tonight I'm going to talk about dynamite and phone calls. First, I'm going to talk about this. This is a picture of an airstrip that I built on my property about 30 years ago. You could see it from space. I saw a satellite photo. You could see it from space. Now, before this airstrip was finished, there were a bunch of stumps in the airstrip that were in the way. I couldn't dig them out with my old bulldozer. So I went to the dynamite store and bought some dynamite. I'd never done that before. I never used dynamite. I bought dynamite, took it home, and got a couple guys to help me. And we blew up all these stumps. It was fun. It makes quite a strange sound. It's not really a boom, it's sort of a when you just see the stumps blow up. I got a picture of one of the explosions. We only used about half the dynamite. I put the other half in my workshop. And a few months later, I got power hooked up to my workshop with the intent of eventually running an illegal underground cable, AC current, to my little cabin. And one night, we had a power party in my workshop. Me and a bunch of guys drinking beer, smoking some of my homegrown pot, playing with the light switches, having lots of fun. When somebody noticed the dynamite in the corner. And I heard from an old guy in a pub, a very reliable source, that you could throw dynamite into a fire and it would just burn. So, I'm gonna stick it back. And I took it and I threw it into the little tin stove that was roaring away. And one guy immediately ran outside, and we all laughed. And he started yelling, "Get out, you're crazy, get out, get out, get out!" And we laughed some more. And I thought, if a stick of dynamite thrown in the stove gets a laugh like that, imagine what will happen if I throw in a couple of more sticks. So I did. And everybody else ran out. And I was there by myself, thinking, maybe it's different in a stove than in a fire. So I ran out too. We got back, stood back quite a ways, quite a long ways actually. It was at night. We could see the flames coming out of the stovepipe, pouring away. The dynamite was burning furiously. And after a while, the flames subsided. We all went back in, drank the rest of the beer, and that was it. Well, in case you're wondering what happened to the rest of the dynamite, I've still got it. I haven't told anyone in my apartment, though. I used to fly dynamite around in airplanes into logging camps. And one time I asked the delivery guy if he ever worried about it blowing up. And he said to me, if it blows up, you won't know it. Those words were not very comforting to me. And every time after that, whenever I flew dynamite around, I'd look in the back of the airplane, sometimes up to a ton of dynamite, and I'd think those words, think about them. By that time in my life, I'd done many amazing things. I patented some things, I had inventions, I was making really good money. I thought and felt that I could do just about anything. I didn't know at that time that about 3 years later, my wife would leave me and take our little boy. And I didn't know that a few months later, my best friend would die in an alcohol-related accident. I signed my divorce papers and the death certificate for my best friend on the same day as it happened. It was a horrible day. And I didn't know at that time that I would stop drinking a few months later and quit using pot. And I didn't know that a bit later after that, that this feeling that I could do just about anything would start to leave. And I didn't know that a bit later after that, a few years later, I would have memories of sexual abuse by both parents and an older sister, and other horrible memories too. I still felt that I could do anything. I still believed I could do anything inside, but I didn't feel it. It was starting to leave. None of us know what's going to happen. We have plans, but we really, really don't know what's going to happen. I've learned many things in my life, and 3 things that I've learned that are very, very important to do that help us to have a better life are, number 1, is to forgive those who have hurt us. We don't have to tell them, we can just do it with our heart. And second, the other very important thing to do is to make amends to those we have hurt, except when to do so would injure them or others. Thirdly, a very, very, very important thing to do is to tell the people that we love them. To say it in words. Not to buy them something. That's not good enough. We have to say it in words. Say it to them. Doing those things are important. They're way more important than any work we can do or anything else. I'm going to leave you with a few words that I heard about 20 years ago that changed my life. And I know that these words will change the life of someone in this room. I don't know who. The words are, if you knew you were going to die in half an hour, would you have to make a phone call? Thank you for listening.